All right. Let me see if I'm on. Anything is straight. All right. Let me make sure I'm on. All right. Turn this down. Okay. Media. All right. Excuse me, brothers and sisters. I greet you in our ancient Kemetic language, our ancient African language, with Hotep, which means peace, Amandala, which means power, power to the people. My brothers and sisters, good evening. I welcome you to the God in Action Spiritual, God in Action Ministry, Spiritual and Cultural platform, where I am a representative. And we do not take your presence lightly. Those of you who may come in today, tonight, later on this week, we do not take your presence lightly. And we thank you for supporting us or listening. And we hope that what we share with you, that it is uplifting, it is empowering, enlightening, encouraging, and motivational. I ask that you help us out. It's not going to cost you a dime. If you can share this with someone, you can tonight or this week, that would be beautiful. Because each one reach one, each one teach one. And those of you who have not done this so far already, can you press follow? So when we come on, you get notifications. Press follow. Also, like. I heard something about algorithms and stuff like that, and share. We really appreciate that. You can help me so much in that area. My name is James. Did I say that already? James Anya Brile Wilson. Those of you who do not know me, and I like to share this with those of you who come on. My purpose, so you don't have any confusion about what I'm all about. My purpose is to inform, not to convince. I gather information, and based on my understanding, I share with you what I understand, and I always seek to tap into truth, excavate truth, and to share it with my brothers and my sisters. My purpose is to encourage you to be more of an analytical and critical thinker, where someone just can't tell you anything, show you anything that sounds good, and you just run with it and you start sharing it yourself without doing the proper research. I see a lot of that on the social media, people sharing stuff. You do the research, it don't even match. You know what I'm saying? My purpose is to challenge you to also open your mind, have an open mind. When you approach knowledge, you have to have an open mind. You have to be open to different ideas and different information. Because it does not line up with what you've been taught, your narrative, it doesn't mean it's not true or it's untrue. It's just maybe that you just never heard it before, okay? And but it doesn't mean it's not true. All right, so I want to share with you, my brothers and sisters, what my purpose is, and it's all about liberating my people through knowledge, truth, and understanding. Ashe? I'm going to go into our session today. If you have not looked at the other videos that I already done, I encourage you to go do so. This is our Unchain Your Brain analytical and critical thinking sessions. All right. So if you have not seen them or looked at them, look at them. You know what I mean? And study them and then do your own thing, your own research. All right. I'm just asking questions. No, before I even do that, I don't want to get ahead of myself. I want to share with you a disclaimer. I'm not here to bash, to criticize, to refute, to devalue, to debate anybody about their belief or their religion. I have no problem with a religion as long as it is used as an instrument for Black liberation, liberating all people, but Black people in particular. If the religion, your belief system that you tapped into, that you have committed to, if it does not do that, you can just throw that thing away. All right? So I just want to share that with you. I'll start off by saying everything you and I know about a God, or the God in the Bible, was taught to us by somebody else. Somebody taught you, somebody taught the person who taught you, somebody taught the person who taught that person who taught, we learned from somebody else. And they taught us in the process how they see God, how they view God, how they interpret God, how they describe God. So they gave us the God of their understanding. And when they gave it to us and taught us, they expected us to accept and believe what they accept and believe, the God of their understanding. So I just want to just ask questions. That's what I'm doing with these sessions, asking questions that people don't care to ask, or they're too afraid to ask. So I'm just going to take be bold enough to ask these questions. And that's all they are, questions. In tonight's session, the question is, will the Bible God purposely harden or stiffen someone's heart so that they cannot change for the better or change for the good? Because what I've learned about God is a God who wants the best for all of us. He wants us all to evolve and change to be a better version of ourselves. But does this Bible God purposely harden people's hearts so they cannot do that, cannot change to be a better version of themselves? So we're going to chase this thing. And I say Bible God is not being facetious or attacking anything. When I say Bible God, one thing about Christianity, and I was raised in Christianity, as I always shared, I was raised as a Baptist Christian from a child. I was licensed legitimately as a Baptist preacher. I was ordained legitimately as a Baptist preacher. I organized a church from the ground zero with some dedicated people, and that was 20-something years ago, right? And so it's 20-something years old. The first 6 years of them 20 years, I was doing it. I was preaching and teaching the traditional Christian way until I start opening my eyes and using my analytical and critical thinking and start asking questions like tonight. Will the Bible God purposely harden someone's heart so that they cannot change? When I say Bible God, because Christians say that there's no other God but the God in the Bible. And if you believe in any other God, you're going to hell. There's other religions that believe in different gods, or they call their God by different names. I believe there's one God, they call it by different names. But the Bible God, they say that's the only one. If you don't believe in that one, you're going to hell. That's why I'm saying the Bible God. We're going to deal with the Bible God. And we're going to answer this question. So to answer this question, I hope I was clear. I will be dealing with the chapters. You can read it for yourself. Exodus chapter 1 through chapter 12. It sounds like a long thing, but it's not long. Okay, but what I'm going to do, I'm going to summarize it tonight. So I'm not going to read all that stuff. So I'm setting the scenery. According to the book, the story, there was a people called the people of Israel. There was captives, slaves in Egypt for 400 years. This is the story. And it says at this time, the Egyptian Pharaoh was deeply concerned because the Israelite people, or what they call the people of God or the chosen people of God, they were greatly multiplying. It was like baby kids. They don't die, they multiply. So out of this concern, he said to himself and his people, if we allow them to continue, or if we allow them to increase in numbers, they will join with the enemy of ours and fight against us and then escape. So out of this concern or this fear, Pharaoh, the Egyptian Pharaoh, according to the story, he ordered the taskmasters over the Israelite people to increase their load, to make their slave labor more difficult and burdensome. Not only that, he ordered all the Egyptian people who was over the children of Israel to drown all the Israelite male children, because he was afraid that they're going to keep multiplying and take over. This is according to the story. So after 400 years of being in the slavery in Egypt, God heard the Israelite people's desperate cries. All right? So when God heard their cry, he sent a man named Moses to go liberate them from bondage. God told Moses, I want you to go tell Pharaoh, the Egyptian who got my people enslaved for 400 years, go tell Pharaoh to let my people go. I'm just laying the scenery, the foundation, because it's important. According to the story, when Moses kept saying, God said, let his people go, Pharaoh refused to listen to him. You know, he refused to obey those orders or commands that Moses gave them that was sent through Moses to the Pharaoh. So according to the book, God decided, hang with me here, to show Pharaoh, who would not let the people go. He was stubborn. He refused. He decided to show him who's the boss. He decided to show them, told the Bible God, decided to show him that who was the all-powerful God, who was the God above all gods. How dare you refuse my order and my command? I'll show you who's the head being in charge. So according to Exodus, the 9th chapter in the 12th verse, it says, this is going to answer the question. God hardened the Egyptian Pharaoh's heart. The question we asked at the beginning, will the Bible God purposely harden someone's heart so they cannot change for the better, for the good? Exodus 9 and 12 answers it. God hardened the Pharaoh's heart, which was already refusing to obey God's orders that was sent through Moses. So Pharaoh's heart was already hardened or stubborn, so God decided to put an extra hardener on it. The question is, will the Bible God purposely harden a person's heart so that it cannot change for the good or for the better? Yes or no? We answered it. I know that, no, I want you to answer yes or no. Did the Bible answer that question? Now, my question is, would a loving God really do that? Don't God Wouldn't God want all of us to be a better version of ourselves, or we go in the wrong direction? You want our hearts to be softened so that we can change the way we do things, change the way we deal, change the way we behave, change the way we function and operate. Don't you think a loving God will, instead of hardening your heart so you could be more rebellious, to soften it? Just a question. After hardening Pharaoh's heart to make it more concretish, I don't know if that's a name, or make it more stubborn, the Bible God decided to release 10 destructive plagues on Egypt, causing mass death of young children, causing disease and psychological trauma, starvation, severe thirst, and unnatural disasters. He did all that to force Pharaoh to let his people go, the Israelites, to let them go free. Now, if the God of the Bible had the power to harden Pharaoh's heart, I need you to hang with me. Isn't it fair to say that God in the scriptures also had the power to soften his heart, to help set his people free? If you have the power to harden it, you have the power to soften it. The Bible God decided to harden it and release 10 destructive plagues to force Pharaoh to let him go. Wouldn't you have softened his heart so where you didn't have to devastate, destabilize, and destroy the Egyptian people? Because I'm quite sure there were some innocent people there. We hear Pharaoh being stubborn and rebellious. That don't mean everybody in Egypt was, but they all got God's smoke. He released the 10 plagues on everybody. Couldn't God have gone another way to do it? Yes or no? Wouldn't a loving God and a patient God choose to do it that way? A less destructive way? Yes or no? You must keep this in mind, brothers and sisters. Not only did the Bible God harden Pharaoh's heart to force him to let his people go, he also wanted to have the opportunity. Check it out. I'm going to harden your heart so you don't freedom. Your heart don't be softened. He wanted to have the opportunity to demonstrate his power to the Egyptian people. In front of the Egyptian people. He wanted to demonstrate his power to the world, to prove that he was God above all gods, that he's a God not to be played with, not to be disobeyed, that he's a God that holds absolute authority over nature. He wanted to have the opportunity to display his power so he can let the world see, so he can turn the world to him, to worship him. And he used the 10 destructive plagues to do that. Follow this. You could have went a different way with it by softening the man's heart and going another route other than dropping 10 plagues or massive bombs on the people. You could have did it another way. But he wanted to do it, according to the book, a more destructive way, a more destabilizing way, a more deadly way. That sounds narcissistic to the core to me. Yeah, it sounds narcissistic to the core. It sounds arrogant. It sounds like someone's a megalomaniac, power-stricken. It sounds like what you call Trump is doing right now with Operation Epic Fury, dropping bombs on Iran. First they was negotiating. Then out of nowhere, we're going to bomb you. You could have chose a more civilized, a more civil way, but no, I would rather exercise my power, demonstrate that we the head niggas in charge. Excuse my language. Not the head Neanderthals in charge. We the most powerful. God bless America. That sounds narcissistic to the core to me. Like the Bible God did, Trump is doing the same thing because a nation don't obey his orders and commands. It's like somebody being hell-bent on destabilizing and destroying people. I can do it another way. We can negotiate. We can be fair. No, I just want to exercise my power, show you who I am. You know, we answered the question, will God purposely harden someone's heart so that they cannot change for the better or for the good? We answered that already. And we saw what God did, what he chose to do after hardening someone's heart. So they cannot change for the better, for the good. Even if they want to, you can't overpower God's power. You can't undo what God has done. What's that saying? No man can open the doors that God has closed. No man can close the door that God has opened. Once God do something, according to what we learned, you can't undo it. So Pharaoh had no chance. Even if he said, you know what, I want to change. Nah, man, God put it where you can't. Because I want to display my power to prove to you, you don't mess with me. I don't think the God, my understanding is that narcissistic. Or he's that eager to show you who's boss. Because someone with some real power and authority, they don't have to do much. They don't have to say much because they know who they are. But you know what? I'm impressed. I'm really impressed about how far the Bible God went to display his destructive power to liberate the Israelite people or God's chosen people. I'm impressed that he went that far to free them, liberate them from a brutal slave system. But I have a serious question, a sincere question, a real question. I believe a legitimate question. We read how God he showed up for the people in the Bible, 400 years of slavery, right? We ain't gonna negotiate. I'm gonna drop 10 plagues. Massive bombs on you to show you don't mess with me or my people. So where was the Bible God when our African ancestors were being enslaved and brutally treated? For over 1,000 years under the wicked hands of the Arab Muslims, where was the Bible God when our ancestors were being kidnapped, transferred in rat-infested ships, packed like sardines, while urinating, defecating, and vomiting on each other because they were chained up and couldn't move? Where was this Bible God when our African ancestors, the men, women, and children were being sold, viciously raped and lynched, whipped, burned alive, castrated, and dismembered? I'm impressed how the Bible God was there for the Israelite people, what is called his chosen people, where it says in the Bible, you curse them, I curse you, but you bless them, I bless you. But it sounds like when it comes to us, God don't give a damn. We talk about the Bible God. That's not the God of my understanding. The Bible God is the one that was introduced to me when I inherited from other people. Where was this Bible God at? When our people was going through so much. 1,000 plus years under the Arab Muslims. Matter of fact, they were so vicious, they taught the Europeans how to do this thing. You thought the Europeans was vicious. The Arabs, they came 1,000 years before the Europeans. Did you know that? They don't teach you that. Where was this Bible God at? Did God not hear our cry? Many of them was taught to believe in the Bible God. Many of them was taught and forced to be Christians. Where was the Bible God? Inquiring minds want to know, brothers. Don't get up. Don't facts over feelings. Hang with me. Inquiring minds wants to know. Where was all that smoke? Where was those 10 destructive plagues that the Bible God released to free the Israelite people? Where was it when it came to our people? God didn't feel anything. God didn't hear anything. God didn't feel nothing. God had no compassion for us. Oh, we're not the chosen. No one on this earth has a suffer as great as African people have suffered. No one ever on this earth. The children of Israel, according to the book, the Bible, they did not suffer nearly as much as what the African ancestors went through. But where was the smoke that the Bible God gave to our slave masters and oppressors? Where's the 10 plagues of destruction to put them in check and to free us? Hell, we still fighting for liberation. We still fighting for civil rights. We still fighting for human rights. We still fighting for equal rights. According to the story, the Bible God, when the chosen Israelites, the people was in slavery, when they was there, he sent, according to the book, Moses to go tell Pharaoh to let my people go. Then he devastated him when he didn't do it. But God, once again, purposely hardened his heart so he wouldn't do it. To do what? So he could display his power. Kudos. God sent the Israelites, the Bible God sent the Israelites Moses, plus some weaponry behind Moses. But we were sent Abraham Lincoln, a European racist. They don't teach you that in school. The man who so-called set our ancestors free from slavery in 1863. They were sent Moses and some weaponry, 10 plagues. We were sent, they say, I don't say, they say this ugly white man, this European Neanderthal, not being facetious, I didn't call him that, I'm reading about this, Abraham Lincoln. A man who said, quote, not my words, if I can save the Union, meaning all the states that have slaves, that was connected to the United States, that made up the United States, if I can, and they were ready to break up because somebody was trying to end slavery, they didn't want to. They said, if you're trying to end slavery, I'll disassociate myself from America. I won't be connected to them as a state. So Abraham Lincoln said, if I can save the Union without freeing any slaves, I would do it. Did you hear that? So it was never about freeing our people because it was a moral decision. It was all about maintaining white unity, white supremacy, and white power. You thought it was about you. So you celebrate Abraham's Lincoln Day and have your little hot dogs and hamburgers and your American flag outfits and hats on. praising somebody he didn't. My question is to you, brothers and sisters, where was all that smoke for us? You sent Abraham Lincoln. He didn't come with no power. He didn't come with no weaponry. He didn't come with no military. He didn't come with nothing. And let me tell you this, when God delivered, the Bible, God delivered the children of Israel out of Egypt, they didn't go empty-handed. You read the story. According to the Bible, they went in with nothing. They was out wandering in the wilderness, dying from famine. And God sent them to Egypt. So Egypt saved them. They don't want to tell you that. They don't want to tell you that. So when they left Egypt, God said, take their gold, the silver, the animals, their food, wheat, their clothes, everything. They left out of their, what do you call it? With a bag. Big time. They left out of there rich. But when we was released, our ancestors were released from slavery, we was released with nothing but raggedy shoes or no shoes with daggone sackcloth clothes on, what we had on our back. Left to wander nowhere. We had nowhere to go. Where's the Bible God when we needed him? So my close is this is a question. Is the Bible God? And I said the Bible God. I explained why I said the Bible God, because a lot of Christians mostly believe if you don't believe in their God, one in the Bible, you're not saved, you're going to hell, you're lost, God ain't going to bless you. So we reading more about this Bible God. We asking questions. Is the Bible God the God of your understanding or someone else's understanding? The one that you have right now, the one you believe in right now. When I say understanding, is it someone else's understanding, meaning how they view God, how they see God, how they perceive God, how they interpret God? Is that Bible God a God of your understanding or someone else's? And this Bible God that was given to you, have you been convinced? And don't say no, because I have at one time, and a lot of you still are. Have you been convinced to believe in and worship that Bible God, the God of someone else's understanding, not your understanding, what the God that you inherited, was taught about, it was drilled in you for Bible study, Sunday school, from the pulpit, from the reading the Bible? I'm talking about that God. A God I ain't gonna say I believe, I know was made from a figment of man's imagination. I say, to hell with that God. Oh, he going to hell. Oh, no, the truth will make you free. Lies will send you to hell. First hell on earth. Because if you live in falsehood, there's no other path but a path of destruction. But the path of truth will lead you into success and productivity. So that's the question. Because everything we've learned about a God, there was no revelation that came down from heaven, woke us up and shook us. Hey, I'm God. No, someone taught us their version of God, this God in the Bible, and it made you believe and convinced you that you have to believe like I believe, accept it like I accept it, worship him like I worship him, see him, view him, perceive him, and interpret him like I do. You had no other options. So you just went along with everybody else. Great grandmama, grandmama, mama, now you, and you're passing it down to your children. And if their eyes are not woken up with truth, they're gonna pass it down to your grandchildren. It's gonna perpetuate. It's your responsibility, my brothers, and my responsibility to break that generational bondage. You got it all wrong. Generational bondage ain't something that Satan put there. Generational bondage is because everybody's making the same decisions and getting the same outcome. Change the decision, change the mind, change the choices. Break the chain up. Instead of being a link in the chain to perpetuate this whitewashed religious lies. Oh, yes. I thank you for listening. And what do you think? Read it for yourself. Exodus, the first chapter to the 12th chapter. You know what I'm saying? It's not long. It sounds long, but it's not. So you can read the story yourself, dissect it. All right? I appreciate you, brothers and sisters. And those of you who would like to continue to support this platform, you have a way to do it. You got a pen? Write this down. GIA. Matter of fact, let me put this at the bottom of the screen. It's at the bottom of the screen. That's if you'd like to. Be much appreciated. If you can't, your support is just as valuable. You coming to watch it is just as valuable, and you sharing it. Don't be afraid. And you can take this, talk to someone, have a discussion. You can talk to them the way you talk. You don't have to say it the way I say it. Some of you may think I'm too raw, or too hard, or too harsh, or too straight. Do it the way you do it. Make it more palatable. I got no time to waste. I got no time to play. My brothers and sisters, I thank you. And I would love to hear your comments, your yays, your nays, what you think, your opinions, your input. You don't have to always agree with me. You know what I'm saying? I want to really hear your mind. I want you to really hear about what we just studied. You know what I'm saying? Ashe. If you rock with it, great. Got some questions? Drop the questions. Ashe? My brothers and sisters, my time is up. How long I've been? Okay, pretty good. My time is up. I love doing this. It's a joy doing this. Thank you once again. Please share. Please like. Please press follow. I'll see you next time. Let me see. Okay, I got a few people. Oh, my brother Chris in the house. Okay, that's what I see right now. That's all I see right now. That's fine. What's up, brother Chris? Good to see you, man. Appreciate you, brother. We'll see you next time. I'll leave that here as I came in with Hotep, which means peace. Amandala, which means power. Power to the people. My time is up.